Hey, what's up, you guys? For those of you that are new here, we're Tanya and Dave from Turn It Up World, and today we're going to be talking about the top best cheap buffets that we like here in Las Vegas. Wow, so we've been to quite a few buffets, from like the high ends to the low ends and to all the ones in between. And this is awesome. To come out here and talk about some of our favorite cheaper buffets is awesome.
Yeah, and actually a lot have been closed, right? During the pandemic, they all closed, of course, and then many did not reopen.
Right.
But we did want to talk through some of our favorites that have now reopened here in Las Vegas, because there are some good ones and some good value buffets.
Oh, yeah.
I think first up, we should talk about the buffet at the Excalibur.
Yes.
Which isn't our favorite cheap buffet, but it is a good value one. It's definitely worth to have on your list to check out. Now, it's only brunch.
Yeah.
Right? So it's 8 to 3, 7 days a week, and it's like $27 a person.
Yeah. Now, because it's only brunch, it certainly can get busy. So try to get there early for sure if you can. Now, there's a lot of things. We actually did a video on this one, so you should definitely check it out if you haven't done so. We're going to highlight some of the interesting ones that we did like, starting with that omelet station. Woo-wee!
Yeah, no, that was cool. But I also remember the drinks you had. That Bloody Mary, that was like the Bloody Mary from hell.
You had the pineapple mimosa, very like simple
very
pineapple
simple
mimosa,
simple
and I had the Bloody Mary from hell. It was like spicy. It had bacon in it. It was I couldn't even tell you all the things that went into that Bloody Mary, but it was delicious. Now, one of the highlights for us whenever we go to these sort of cheaper buffets is to check out the meat station, because it's all about the meats. And I, in particular, dived right into that brisket. And this is what it looked like. Now, I can honestly say the brisket wasn't bad. For us, it's really tough to find good brisket, especially at a buffet. It did have the flavors of it, but it was a little bit dry-ish.
Right. Not terrible though for cheap buffet.
Right.
So yeah, I'd give it kind of a B.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't terrible.
It had a nice smoky flavor.
It had that
was the key, a little smoky.
Go for the fatty pieces for sure. Try to get as much fat as you can, and that's where that nice smokiness is. And actually, one surprising find was that pozole.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did not expect to find some good pozole at the Excalibur buffet, but that was good. Nice spice to it. Boy, that tasted. I enjoyed that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And then of course we wrapped up with the desserts, a little bit of that kimchi, which was nice. I like kimchi. It's kind of my thing right now.
Right.
And I will definitely say the bread pudding, the flan.
The flan.
It was definitely a highlight for the Excalibur buffet. But certainly something you should check out if you're looking for a good value buffet. Excalibur, they've also renovated. Check it out. So why don't we head downtown to a very popular buffet? Okay, it's called the Garden Court Buffet at Main Street Station. Now, it's very popular. We actually had a great time there for sure. Now, they're open daily for brunch from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. They do have dinner from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, brunch is a little bit less, of course, price-wise. It's $21 for that one, and the dinner is $29. But nonetheless, some decent options.
Oh yeah, no, great value. I remember kicking off there. We went in, we were super excited, we were super hungry. Went right to that meat station.
Woo! We started off with thinking maybe the appetizers, right? But we said, nah.
Yeah, and then dove right in. We just like went to that carving station and boom, big plates of meat.
Now, one of the highlights at the Main Street Station Garden Court Buffet was the meat station. That carving station was yum, yum, give me some.
Yeah, no, it was good. I thought the roast turkey was particularly good. That was excellent. Really enjoyed that. Oh yeah, and the mash and all
the
that.
mash gravy.
Good stuff.
It was very good. The chicken was great. I also felt like the way they delivered, the staff behind there, just everything felt right. Now, obviously, we got there early, so everything was first and freshly put out, which is always nice, so get there early.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one thing about Main Street, too, it has a Hawaiian flair to it as well. There's a lot of Hawaiian influence in that, and they have some great Hawaiian dishes as well.
Which makes sense, because you know that the owner, lived in Hawaii for quite some time,
I think that's right,
has that influence of the Hawaiian vibe, and you notice that with some of the staff. They had those beautiful little flowers in their ears, taking you to the table.
Now, some of the highlights on the Hawaiian side were some of the best items in the whole buffet.
I know where you're going with this one.
I remember
the Hawaiian section.
Right? Yeah, that of course that Kalua pork and cabbage was awesome. That slow roasted pork, boy, that was so good. And that Hawaiian beef stew and
that shoyu chicken.
Shoyu chicken.
I'm gonna show you some chicken right now. It was absolutely delicious and definitely a highlight for sure. But you can see why they infused that Hawaiian thing in there. And they're very popular.
They must have a Hawaiian chef back there cooking that up, because it's good.
It was like spot on.
Yeah.
Now, for a buffet of its size, it had 10 stations, which was really nice to see a good variety there. I really have to say I enjoyed the antiques, the way it was laid out, the design of it. A lot of those antiques came from like the San Fran Opera House, and it was very unique and interesting.
Yeah, no, the ambiance is so cool in there. I remember looking up at the ceiling, the chandeliers up there were really cool.
Oh, it's got amazing architectural detail. So while you're eating that shoyu chicken, you're kind of observing all that antique.
Right. Now, I remember you had a favorite dessert at Main Street.
Oh, it was the bread pudding. That was absolutely delicious for bread pudding. It was warm, it was flaky, it had all the right textures. It just hit everything bread pudding is supposed to represent, and I didn't expect that at that buffet.
Now we're gonna head down to the Garden Buffet at South Point, and that's a popular one. It's like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and brunch, like 7 days a week. Well, dinner and brunch are basically weekends only, right?
Yeah, there's quite a lot going on there at the South Point Garden Buffet, and I will say this, with a lot going on comes with a lot of different prices, so we're just gonna throw up the prices right here for you so you can get a look at all that variety, whichever one fits your fancy.
And we, of course, went on Friday night, which is seafood night, the most expensive night, but it's also the night with the crab legs, and oh my goodness. Yeah, your favorite, absolutely. But it brings the lines, man. It's like crazy on Friday nights. I remember we waited for like an hour and a half in that line.
Yeah, I can honestly say I was over it. For a while, I'm like, okay, we're about to leave this line. I am not gonna wait anymore, but it was all worth it once we got in, because to have that many crab legs for that price and comparable to some of the higher end buffets was worth the wait. And plus, I really enjoyed this station, right? The seafood, the taco station was like the bomb. She's like throwing up the tacos, and not that crazy, but she was making those tacos, putting the different spices on there, and that was definitely a highlight. Those shrimp tacos were thebomb.com.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mongolian grill was cool too. They had a fellow there just kind of working it. You had to give him what ingredients you wanted. He'd take it, he'd cook it behind there, chop it up, cook it up. It was great.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety, good options. You know, obviously there's gonna be some hit or misses. There were definitely some there. Now we did a video at this place as well, so definitely check out that video because there's a lot of variety and a lot of good options on there and some not so good ones that you probably wanna check out.
Yeah, I do remember you did a bread pudding battle between South Point and Main Street.
And what was the results?
What were the results, babe?
Watch that video to find out. Now, one thing I have to always say is this. If a dessert station meets those expectations of deliciousness, then it's a buffet worth trying out. And this place definitely had a great dessert station. I mean, I really enjoyed those pops. They're like cake pops.
Yeah, like cheesecake pops, little chocolate
pops. Just bite it off
really
like yummy, yummy. And that bread pudding definitely was a hit for sure. Now, it was a little drier than the Main Street Station buffet, but it was definitely one of those tasty bread puddings. And I'm a big fan of them. All right, and last but certainly not least, this one has been, and we've constantly talked about this spot, as one of our favorite cheap buffets here in Las Vegas. And for a while, it was closed down. I know, it's the build-up, but let's get a drum roll, please. Come on now, you know how I like those drum rolls. Stop.
Oh, here we go.
You know how I like the drum roll, but right? Give me a rockin' beat.
Oh, you want a beat?
Let's go. Oh, hey, Give me a A, Y, C, and E. It's the Ace Buffet. Returning, you see. Hey! So the Ace Buffet here is back in Las Vegas over at the Palms. Now, we went there a little while ago, well, before the pandemic shutdown, and they just renovated that spot. So we're excited to see this place come back.
Yeah, no, the Ace Buffet is definitely, we consider it the best cheap buffet in all Las Vegas. We're super excited to have it back here. And you should definitely check out our video review of that. We went into detail on the items, and boy, everything was top-notch, so good. Just cannot wait to jump in there again.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We got to meet the chef. He kind of talked about some of the dishes, some of their ideas and what they were implementing. And like Dave said, there were a couple of really great highlights that we enjoyed at this spot. Since we both have this chicken together, should we just take a quick bite of this chicken?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
That's good.
That is. The skin is nice and crispy.
Yeah, that's good.
Exactly. It slapped your mama good.
I would have to say that one of my favorite dishes is going to be the walnut shrimp.
Oh yeah, we love that.
It's simple, but yeah, it has like a nice tang to it. It's delicious. It's very popular. As you come at night, we have like our smoked brisket. We do smoked briskets. Smoked
Is that really
ribs.
good? We're from Texas, so we love the smoked brisket.
We start our smokers every morning, And we put our brisket in the morning, so by time dinner time, it's ready to go.
Okay.
So we are hoping that under the new ownership that it does return with that same flair. We do probably realize it's not going to be as cheap as it was due to inflation and a lot of other things going on right now and under new ownership, but we are looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So stay tuned for that. We'll bring you all the details around that.
Whew, I have to say, after talking about all of those buffets, I feel so stuffed right now.
Exactly. Always get stuffed at buffets, but hope you enjoyed our list of the best cheap buffets here in Las Vegas in 2022. And if there's some that you think we've missed, please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, what are your favorite buffets? We'd love to hear that for sure. And take a second, if you haven't done so, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get up every time you post something new and exciting. As always, thanks for joining us, World Fam. And we look forward to seeing y'all
in Las Vegas!
And maybe at one of these tasty cheap buffets.